Well, for us, this is a family story. It's also a story of somehow American know-how, where Americans seem to be able to create their own futures and their own fortunes. The original Buena Vista Cafe was built in the early 1900s down near Fisherman's Wharf. Just before the Second World War, Jack Kepler bought the Buena Vista, and he and his wife, Jo, started to run it. The war came along, and obviously he was shipped off overseas. And that's where he met George Freeburg. After the war, George tried several different jobs, and in the early 50s, Jack Kepler called him and said, "Hey, do you want to come up and work with me in San Francisco at the Buena Vista? It's an interesting little bar, and you might enjoy it." So George went up there, and after a very short period of time, George would become a partner. Sometime in the early 50s, a frequenter to this very raffish bar, Stan Delaplane of the San Francisco Chronicle, came in and told them that he had had this fabulous drink in Ireland. He was stuck in the fog at the Shannon Airport and came in and told the bartender that he'd love to have some great Irish whiskey. But unfortunately, he was on deadline and had to write an article, and what he really needed was a cup of coffee. And the bartender said, "I've got just the thing for you." And the bartender made for him an Irish coffee. When he got back to San Francisco and went to the Buena Vista, he told George and Jack about this fabulous drink that he had had. So they started experimenting, trying to figure out how to recreate the Irish coffee. And finally got the recipe to where they thought it was just about right. And thus was born Irish coffee in San Francisco. These two former GIs set about turning the Buena Vista into a landmark and one of the top 10 bars in the world. Irish coffee spread throughout the United States. Unfortunately, as it spread, the individuals who were recreating the drink recreated it in ways that they thought would be interesting, using whiskeys other than Irish whiskey, taking it out of the glass, which shows the beautiful dark coffee and the light cream on top, and putting it in mugs and spraying it with whipped cream out of a can, and doing other things to it, putting a cherry on top that really diminished the drink from what the original, absolutely delicious Irish coffee is. It's very easy. It's 4 ingredients: black coffee, lightly whipped cream, sugar cubes, and good Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey. It's regular whipping cream, lightly whipped, not to peaks, but it just becomes slightly heavy. Put 2 or 3 cubes of sugar into an Irish coffee glass, and it is important to use the sugar because if you don't, the cream will not float on the top. Put in a scant, about 3/4 of a shot of Irish whiskey, put the coffee in and mix all that together, and then you carefully float on the back of a spoon this lightly whipped cream so it floats on the top. It's a unique after-dinner drink. Not only is it a beautiful drink when you look at it in the glass, but when you lift it and sip the hot, dark coffee through the very softly whipped cream, it gives you a sensation of coldness on your upper lip as the hot coffee hits your tongue and your lower lip. And it just is a fascinating and wonderful thing to drink. Every time we serve them, people just rave over them and love them. So the original Irish coffee, recreated the original way, is a fantastic drink. And it's a very welcoming drink. It's something that people discuss because it is unusual. It isn't something that you get on a regular basis. The business from 1951 to 1957 grew 8-fold. I had an article in the early 60s about the 10 greatest bars in the world. Harry's Bar, for example, was included. But the Buena Vista was one of those bars that was included as one of the 10 greatest bars in the world. And if you ever go there, you will see why it is considered one of the 10 greatest bars in the world. The place is jammed night after night after night. And here's a story of 2 GIs who started what appeared to be a simple bar business and grew it into a landmark, a worldwide landmark, all on the back of this drink. I don't think that they ever thought that they were creating something that was going to be as fantastic as ultimately it turned out. One of the interesting sides is that people would land at San Francisco from outside the United States. And even before going to their hotel to check in, they would get in a cab and come to the Buena Vista to try the Irish coffee that they'd heard about and read about. Tell them, I want some Irish coffee. Can I go to the BV? Take me to the BV, and they'll know exactly where you want to go.